Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here on location, Matt, for a very special
video. We are here in Worthing, where it's our HQ, is.
Board Stupid HQ.
And we've been hosted by the guys at DICE. DICE is lounge,
board game lounge, cafe and bar, and it is tremendous. It is absolutely kicking off in here.
Yes.
It's lively, full of people.
It's great. It's such a great environment. We will have a chat with Kirk a little bit later. He's gonna tell us more about what the guys do. Yeah. There's a lot of activities happening here at DICE with D&D nights or Magic the Gathering or and the normal board games where you come in, you pick up a game from the library and you just have a drink and play. And this is just a small section. This is just the beginner game section. Is the 2 floors of this space are full of board games. Yeah. So if you're down on the south coast of England, definitely check out DICE because it's an amazing place.
Absolutely. But Matt, what are we here for today?
Oh yes, of course. We're here to bring you our top 10 of all time.
Top 10 games of all time. Are we even a YouTube channel if we don't do this video?
It's kind of like, do we need to do it? It's on the contract.
It was part
YouTube,
of the contract when we started it. Yeah. You're a board game YouTube channel? Yeah. You've got to do a top 10 of all time.
Hey guys, you need to have it, and here we go.
Here's what it is.
And the top 10.
Matt, it's been a challenge getting these 10 games just thinned down.
Yeah.
I did a very sort of administrative approach to it.
Yeah. Wayne is really good with the admin side, so he's got his board game gig list with all this. I'm very much, but I've been thinking about it for the last probably 20 days since we decided to do this video, and God, if it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
I made a list at a certain point. I had like 45 games that I thought that would have been in my top 10, and then I was like, oh, this is 45, not 10. So I started but there's so many games that I'm set to leave out of this list, but hey, it is what it is. And again, we're talking about February 2024. God knows, in the next couple of months we could play a game that we haven't played before, and that's gonna make the top 10. So we'll check next year.
See how much this has changed. Yeah. So without further ado, before we dive into number 10, Matt, what do the people need to do?
Oh yes. First of all, if you like our content, please hit the like button. Share with your friends, your family, or whoever thinks that these things could be interested for. And most of all, please hit the subscribe button.
Target lock, hit that button.
That is what really helps us as a channel to grow and to make more content for you guys, to bring you more content as we try to do every time.
We've got some tremendous plans for this year, so you hitting subscribe helps us deliver those to you.
So yeah, let's dive in with our top 10. All right, Wayne, let's start with your number 10.
My number 10. I'm starting with a legend, Matt. I'm starting with the good doctor himself, Mr. Rainer Knizia.
Of course, the legend himself.
Yeah, with Ra. And for those, such a great game. For those that don't know, Ra is one of those games that does one mechanism basically perfectly.
So well.
Basically perfectly. We did a deep dive, which you can see in a link above here. And it is a closed economy of certain bidding tokens, and it gives you so many great decisions on your turn.
Yeah.
You're like, am I going to bid now and try and force you to sort of use one of your high-ranking bidding tokens, or do I wait as long as possible, maybe wait until everyone uses their tokens and then just leaves me free to take what I want? There's so many great decisions every single turn.
And so interactive, and again, it's very easy to learn, difficult to master, so it's got a very
nice
depth as well.
Loads of depth to
so amazing game.
And at the moment, this current edition that you can buy is the best edition. So
it's
if you haven't got
a great production,
go and get it. That's Ra, my number 10. Matt, what about you? What's your number 10?
My number 10 is a game that hit the table a lot in my house. It's great at 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, and I'm talking about Azul. Azul must be on this list.
Modern classic.
It's one of those abstract puzzle game with a fantastic production, with a fantastic play, and it's just so good. And again, super easy to learn. I was playing with my mom at Christmas. My mom is not really a board gamer, and she picked it up, and she actually bit me a few times. So no,
Mama approved.
It's great. I love the tiling mechanisms, and when you start learning the game more and more, you will start seeing like strategies and when to pick which tile, and making difficult decisions for you and the other players. Absolutely fantastic. It's a game that is so easy as well to put on the table. You set up in 30 seconds. You got that little bag that you draw out stuff that is
Lovely
always
production.
fun. So production is amazing. So this must be on my list.
It's one of those timeless designs.
It is.
Yeah.
So number 10, Azul. All right, let's go with number 9. What you got?
My number 9, I've got another legend really. I'm just knocking out the legends. One after the other.
Go on.
Now I've got Vital Lacerda, who is famous for making some of the heaviest games ever. But
He likes the heavy game.
I don't, but at the same time, this is one of his lighter ones, and that is Escape Plan.
Ooh.
Escape Plan is such an amazing game, and it's set in such the most amazing theme. It is a heist that's just been completed, but things are starting to go wrong and the police are on your tail, and you're competing against your other robbers to go and get your stashes of cash and be the first to escape the city. And as you escape the city, the heat increases for everyone else that's left. It costs you money to stay in as you're bribing police left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Just an incredible experience. Really clever design. Has that classic Vital Lacerda sort of component actions type thing. So at first glance, it seems straightforward-ish, but then all of the different strategies you can employ makes it super interesting, deep, amazing production, great theme, but is essentially just a medium-heavy Euro. And I freaking love it. So that
I need to try it as I never played. So yes, absolutely.
That's Escape Plan. Matt, moving into your number 9.
Number 9, it must be Zombie Apocalypse, and it must be Dead of Winter.
You love a Zombie Apocalypse.
Absolutely. And Dead of Winter, a semi-co-op game where you're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. You're trying to build your base to explode zone with the traitor mechanism built into the game. It's absolutely great. I love the theme. I love the mechanics in the game. I love what you can do with all the little things like when and how you want to attract zombies, and absolutely, and it really gives you that
survival feeling, right?
Yes,
and where the people are the problem, as well as the zombies.
Exactly. And there are a few expansions as well that are really good. Once they let you compete between two survivor teams, is absolutely fantastic. Again, if it's something like if you like The Walking Dead, this is the game for you.
This is the game, mate. And it's somewhat more out of fashion these days, but I agree with you. I still think it's an amazing game.
It's an amazing game.
And you should go check that out.
Yep, Dead of Winter. We are at number 8. Otto. What is your number, Otto?
My number 8 is... Well, we're going back to The Good Doctor, who might actually end up being my favourite designer, and it's Quest for Eldorado.
Fair enough.
Quest for Eldorado.
Yes.
I mean, what a game.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what's not to love about this game, Matt? It's so simple to learn.
Yeah.
As soon as you explain what the cards do and how they match the map, brilliant. It's a combination of racing game and deck builder.
It's great. And
Brilliant.
it does both the things in a fantastic way.
Really fantastic way, in a way that you don't expect either.
Yeah. And I like the tense, where it gets very tense toward the end. Who's gonna get there? And
you're blocking people off with your meeples. You're getting special cards from a market as you're upgrading your deck. It has one of those light bulb moments whenever I've taught this to people, and you go, oh yeah, if you look at the symbols on the card and then look at the map, that's what that does.
Yeah.
And they go, oh,
it's so clever.
It's so smart.
The artwork and the production is super clever.
Yeah.
It takes you like just a minute to understand what everything does, and it's a great game. If you like Indiana Jones, that's the game for you.
Run to Eldorado and have a cracking time doing it. So that is my number 8, or Otto. Quest for Eldorado. Okay, Matt, now for your Numero 8.
My number 8, I would say for that, you need to shine your guns because we're going down into the Wild West, and it's Western Legend.
Hell yeah!
Such a great game. Sandbox Western game where you can be the cowboy that you always wanted to be, or a bandit. But it's fantastic mechanism. Again, that we got a deep dive video about Western Legend, but it's a fantastic team. It's the sandboxy rules are done perfectly.
Really good.
Again, you can play poker and go to the cabaret and win the game, or you could like
Russell
hunt bandits great game, great team. It's always fun to play, and it must be on my list. So my number 8 is Western Legend.
It is the ultimate Western game.
Yeah, go check the video.
Yeah.
We are at the lucky number 7. What you got?
7. See, I seem to have a thing for games from the 90s most recently, Matt, and
you're on the vintage.
I've got a vintage vibe
side,
right now, and there is another one that might make the top 10 for next year, but at the moment, my number 7 is Big Boss.
Oh, yes.
Big Boss by Wolfgang Cranian and Michael Kiesling, I believe, and it is just an incredible game. It is, for me, like one of those ultimate sort of economy games. Economy is like almost city building in a way as well, right? You're buying stocks and shares in different companies, and it has this great verticality to it. It's really unusual.
Yeah, great components, great game, and as you say, this is a game from the 90s. It's been republished by the guys at Funko a few years ago. They did a great job with the upgrade, making it modern. In both the rules and the look of the game. So absolutely.
It's a tremendous production for the price as well. I mean, if you go and look for that game right now, if you don't have it in your collection, this is the best £25 or so that you're going to spend, I promise you. It's just a spectacular game. Interactive, great at all of the player counts, especially the higher player counts. Fantastic game. My number 7, Big Boss. So Matt, are you still feeling lucky?
I'm feeling lucky, and even if we are not lucky when we play this game, I really love it. It makes my number 7, and it's Pandemic Legacy.
No, we're not lucky. We're terrible at that game.
But it's such a great game.
Good.
Again, it takes everything from Pandemic, all the things that works, and make it into a great experience.
It really does.
Especially if you got we're playing a group of 4, and it's fantastic how the story and the extra component. Again, no spoilers. You will have to play it yourself. But it's one of those games that every time you finish one of your scenarios and something happens between the two, you're like, oh my god, what's this?
Amazing.
So the story, the mechanics, the extra mechanics that adds to the normal Pandemic is absolutely great. Great production, great fun, and we're loving it.
Absolutely loving it. It is Pandemic on steroids.
Yes.
It really is. More complexity, amazing storyline that gives you lots of surprises. And just a revolutionary experience.
So I would say, if you like Pandemic, this is even better. If you didn't like Pandemic, definitely check this out, because this gives a completely new twist to the game, and it's just a fantastic game. So it must be on this list, and it's Pandemic Legacy. We're now at the number of the beast, 666.
666, the number of the beast. My number 6, Matt, is going to take us to Edo period Japan. It's a game that we've talked about already.
I know what you're talking about.
Of course it is. It's Iki, the Kennerspiel the Jahr nominee, and it is such an amazing game. This is one of those games where once I play it, I can't stop thinking about it. It's like it just gets in my head. It does these wonderful things with set collection and this kind of rondelle mechanism where you're moving your meeple around and then doing various actions. You've got various shops that you can shop at, and then you can move them around, but it's still highly competitive, highly interactive.
The artwork is amazing.
It's a beautiful
amazing.
game.
Everything that is like, I think we both got like a soft spot for everything like Japanese
Yeah, we definitely do,
the
yeah.
artwork, and it's fantastic.
It's woven through it beautifully, and the theme is great about trying to live like a really perfectly productive life for you and your community. And it's just, and that's the concept of Iki. And by the end of it, you are, I think, feeling like you've definitely accomplished something. A game, it gets out of the way relatively quickly, within the hour, maybe an hour and a half at the max, but it's a full-on experience the whole way. So that is my number 6, Iki. So Matt, moving on to your number 6, what have you got for us?
The first dungeon crawler on this list, and it's not going to be the last.
I'm surprised it took us this long to get to a dungeon crawler, I'll be honest with you.
And this game, I played it a lot. I loved it. It's one of the games that brought me back into the top table universe, and is Descent Journey in the Dark, 2nd edition. This game is fantastic. It's very close to my heart. We played a lot. It's 1 versus all dungeon crawler. So one of the players will play the evil dungeon master that will try
to kill you.
Yes, and again, it's a campaign game. It's scenario-based campaign game, and every time that you go through the story, you find more about the story. The universe where it's set is absolutely fantastic, and it's probably not a perfect dungeon crawler, but it's very, very fun to play, especially if you got someone that plays the evil dungeon master in a very good way. Exactly. Absolute production is a Fantasy Flight production, so it's a very good. A lot of minis, and big dragons minis that we always like. And the journey will bring you to do different scenarios where you can develop your character. At the same time, the evil dungeon master will develop his or own character with different powers. But fantastic story, fantastic experience. If you got a nice group that wants to play a long campaign, I would definitely recommend this. And Descent Journey to the Dark, 2nd edition.
So I'm here with Kirk from the Dice Board Game Lounge and Cafe. Kirk, tell us all about your amazing space.
Okay, so we are a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. We have board gaming, we have RPG gaming, we do card gaming, we do cafe, we do bar. So you can come out, chill out, just have a good time.
Just have a good old time here. How long have you been open for?
So we are just coming up to turning 3.
Wow.
And going into our 3rd year. So we've done 2 full years.
Amazing.
So
we see today, even on the Sunday lunchtime, it's absolutely cracking here. People have come and got some games from the library and enjoying themselves. What have you put that success down to? Have you built a nice community here?
Absolutely, we started off just sort of growing from the base level up, right? So a lot of us staff were also keen gamers, but not massive gamers, and we've built from that and gone from learning and growing with the business itself. So absolutely, I find that that's helped massively because we've come in with no prior board game knowledge and grown.
Nice.
So as more people, and not only that, helps other people come in and go, you should play this game. And again, massively helped us go, okay, let's have a look at that game.
Fantastic. What sort of events have you got on here at DICE?
So we try and keep our events nice and varied. We've got our Worthing Tap Takeover coming up in April, which is all about craft beer.
And I love me some craft beer,
So we're teaming up with a local brewery from Sussex. We've got a How to GM event happening next Thursday evening.
Love that.
So one of our local GMs is coming in and teaching how to do it for other players and other people that want to get into it. We also try and host lots of other different events throughout the year. We're part of Worthing Festival again this year, which is more about the creative side. Again, we go a bit behind the scenes with the board gaming, so how games are created, the artwork that comes in that. So we've got a few things coming up and more hopefully over the year.
That's fantastic. And if people want to find out more about DICE, what do they need to do?
They can either pop in and come and speak to us. We're always happy to talk about it. And if you get me talking, I probably won't stop. You can jump online and see our website, obviously all available as well.
In the links below, which we'll stick them down there. So tremendous, Kirk. Thank you so much for hosting us and letting us be here for a little while. And best of luck. We'll be back soon.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
We're halfway there to number 1. And
these games are actually good. The rest, trash. These are the good ones.
we start with your number 5.
Yes, my number 5. Have I taken us to space yet on my list? I don't think I have.
Not yet, not yet. We haven't been to space yet, so
it's taken me that
it's
long.
time.
And I'm taking you to space with Beyond the Sun. Beyond the Sun is a wonderful worker placement / engine building / area control / tech tree game. There is so much going on, but it does it in such a smooth way.
Yeah.
It's so brilliantly designed. It has this wonderful sort of production element where these dice are kind of like tokens, so it eliminates a lot of the sort of admin that you would expect in a game.
Fantastic production, very smart production, not only fantastic, smart
very
production.
clever production. Loads of decisions to make. All of the different technology feels powerful and interesting. Just a wonderful design that I think is kind of underrated in a way. I mean, it's such a good game.
It is, however, we're talking about the tech tree that is the main component of this game, and it's the tech tree is being copied, that specific one, by a lot of other games. So if you want to know where that thing started, with the tech tree started, it started with this game.
Yeah, at least in this, the way that it's done, it's just so fantastic. So that is my number 5, the amazing Beyond the Sun. Matt, your number 5.
We stay in space.
Staying in space, yeah,
We
baby.
stay in
Stay in
space.
space.
But we go into a space desert with Dune Imperium.
Dune Imperium, what a pick, Matt.
What we need to say about this game?
I agree with you. It's a great game.
It's a fantastic team because it's Dune. So if you're a fan of the IP, it brings it on the top table in a fantastic way. It's not one of those like cheap tie-in of a movie or stuff.
Great game.
The game is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got the deck building element, the asymmetrical elements between
worker
different
placement,
players, the work placement, and how you getting points. You got a lot of different ways of winning the game. It's not just like one way. You can get points in different ways, and fantastic components, and it's a real challenge between you and the other players to actually
heavily interactive, and it's like a race to 10 points, so every single point is like you
counts
scratch
a lot.
for it, you earn it, every single one feels like it's impactful.
And again, it's one of those games that merge perfectly the IP with a very good game, and it's fantastic. The new version, Dune Imperium Uprising, it just came out recently, so that's on my list to buy. Next year, maybe I'm gonna swap Dune Imperium with Uprising. Who knows? Who knows? So
Great game.
absolutely check it out, Dune Imperium. All right, numero 4, number 4.
Numero 4, indeed. My number 4, it's just Raiders of the North Sea. I mean, it's a game that I can't stop playing. This is the game where I think if I don't know what to play, I'll pull out that game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I agree.
It's relatively easy to teach, relatively easy to learn, but it's got lots of depth. It does worker placement in a really interesting way. You have one worker, you put one down, you pick another one up.
Yeah.
Love that. Genius. And you get an action for each one of those things. You've got a little bit of tableau building with your like crew of Vikings. You're gonna go raiding. It's all great art design.
Yeah, love the artwork. The artwork is great.
Fantastic art, really smooth. You're never waiting around too long as well.
No.
It's just a great experience that again gets out of the way in about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Plays great at basically all of the player counts, 2, 3, and 4. There's a 5-player expansion as well. It plays fine there too.
Yeah, great. The expansions are actually good expansion.
Really good expansions.
They add to the game. Well, actually, I would say buy the base game and buy the expansion as well.
At least one of them.
And the fact that you just have that one single thing, so one single worker that you need to place. At the start, it sounds like, oh, you just do one thing. No, you can do so many things.
With just that. Yeah.
While the games progress, the ramification of what the action that you can take is a lot, and it's always like very fun head-to-head with the other players to win the game. So.
Absolutely. It's an absolute classic in my opinion. It's Raiders of the North Sea. Okay, Matt, over to you. Your number 4.
My number 4 is Hit Pedal to the Metal.
This only came out recently, but it's such a great game.
Such a great. racing game and deck building
management,
and
yeah.
management is great. You really feel that it's a
It's a
Formula
race.
One race.
It's so tense the whole way.
Yes. And the fact that inside the box itself you got different modules that you can add to the game, that to me is a massive plus. You basically got expansion inside the main box.
Yeah, the replayability
where you
is
can,
insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. The number of maps that you got, the number of different components that you can use in your garage, or the fact that you can add the weather, absolutely fantastic. It's always a tense race with you and the other player. The production is top quality.
It's so good. Days of Wonder.
Yeah,
They always do
like,
great productions, and they've
bravi.
really pulled out. Yeah, bravo
Yeah,
to you.
absolutely. So
Yeah, Vincent Dutrait artwork, the art design is
with
spectacularly
that,
good.
yeah, that 50s, 60s
Yeah,
kind
sort
of
of
like
golden age of
yeah,
racing.
Absolutely fantastic. So definitely check it out.
Gosh,
Heat, pedal to the
such a
metal.
good game. Possibly the greatest racing game ever made.
Yeah, I do agree. Okay, first step of the podium. Wayne, which one is your number 3?
The one that got the bronze medal in this top 10 list is Smartphone Inc., mate. It's Smartphone Inc. I mean, this is...
I can't believe it. But yeah, fair enough.
Smartphone Inc. is always going to be one of my favourite games of all time.
Yeah.
I just freaking love it. It's a game that at first glance you go, I don't understand what this is. Why have you brought me this big white board? And then when
It's a lot white.
it's a lot of white. And then when you play it, it is one of the most interactive, mean, aggressive games that you can possibly play. It's so good. You're undercutting each other for price to try and get your phones to the market first, and basically just beat the other people out in terms of competition. It's just phenomenal. You've got different phases of the game. You're trying to research different technologies.
Yeah.
You've got this whole initiative, which is super interesting. So the cheaper your phones are, the more likely you are to go to market first, which is great. But then you're not making much profit. But that doesn't matter if you flood the market and no one else can sell.
Yeah.
And that's a proper, like, brutal business tactics. And it has this amazing mechanism, which I've never seen before or since. There's 2 sort of overlapping tablets that you do to create your
that's a great
business
concept,
plan.
yeah.
It is magically interesting. I think it's an amazing game. I'll never get bored of Smartphone.
I would say, because I was pretty skeptic
You were
about
super skeptical, yeah.
about this game. You need to go. You need to go past the theme. Because the theme wasn't for me, but the game is great. If it was a different team, probably wouldn't make my top 10 list in terms of like playing the game. Is super fun. It's, as you said, it's super interactive. The team a little bit less, but hey,
I love it. It's my number 3.
yeah. If you want to be a little Steve Jobs, that's the
game for you, yeah. Matt, your turn. Who's stepping on the podium for you?
We got a dungeon crawler, of course. And
Wouldn't expect anything less.
And we got the dungeon crawler.
Okay.
And I'm talking about HeroQuest.
Yeah, okay, one of the original and best.
Easy. HeroQuest 1989 is the game that I've grown up with.
Yes, mate. I thought I had the oldest game on this top 10, but
No,
it's actually
I
you
think
in 89,
that's mine. When it came out, I was just like a little boy that was lucky enough to receive this box as a Christmas present, if I remember
lucky
right.
you. Yeah.
And oh god, how much I played this game! It's a game from the late 80s and early 90s. So again, some of the mechanics now they are pretty dated. However, the adventure feeling that you got with this dungeon crawler is fantastic. Again, it's one against all. So one player will play the dungeon master. Again, the evil dungeon master in this case, and you and your companion will try to get into the dungeon and try to defeat that specific scenario. It's not a campaign game. At the time, there was not such a campaign game, so it's all scenario based. However, there is a sort of like storyline that goes through each scenario. In one, you will have to defeat the evil gargoyle. Another one, you will need to rescue one of the prisoners, and it's fantastic. The fact that they got this, the board is always the same, but then the dungeon master will open doors and place basically draw the map while you are in the dungeon is fantastic. And the things that we really liked when we were kids, it was the fact that at the end of the book, when you finish all the scenarios, you will have like blank pages.
Make your own scenario.
To make your own scenarios, and that it was something like replayability. I played this game like for years and years, and now the new version came out a few years ago, and I think a couple of years ago. Of course, I got the entire collection because it's one of my favorite games. Still, some of the mechanics right now are a little bit dated,
Old school,
but it's still a fantastic adventure, a fantastic dungeon crawler. The one that everybody else copied in the last 40 years, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very close to my heart, and it must be in the top 3, and it's HeroQuest. All right, Wayne, silver medal, number 2. Who'd you go?
Oh, it's stressful when you get to this point.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's so many games that just aren't even on it. But anyway, my number 2 is Rising Sun.
Oh,
Rising Sun by Simon Games, taking you back to sort of mythological ancient Japan. This game I fell in love with the first time I played it, and it is just absolutely tremendous. You have incredibly asymmetric factions.
Yep.
You have this incredible, amazing artwork. You have giant monsters stomping around the board. You've got great upgrades that you can get for your clan, and you have a whole strategy around that. You have area control, which is really interactive.
Yep.
All with this layer, this thin veneer of sort of diplomacy and sort of making alliances and breaking alliances and using these sort of diplomatic tiles to do your various actions and having discussions with your ally. It is so multi-layered and just a bombastic production.
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Of course, it's Simon Productions, or all the minis and stuff are absolutely gorgeous, and in this like fantasy medieval Japanese.
It is just amazing.
Yeah.
And this is one of those games by Eric Lang, the legendary Eric Lang. It is of the trilogy, which included Blood Rage and Ankh.
Yep.
This is my favourite one. It's changed a few times over the years.
Yeah, I was wondering which one would have made your list
but it
of
has,
the trilogy.
It's settled now. I will always go back to Rising Sun. 4 players or more, that's its only downside for me, because I think it's best at 4 or more. But just a freaking awesome game. Love the experience every time. Super dramatic. Rising Sun. Matt, we're getting close to the finish line.
Yep.
What's number 2? Who's got the silver medal?
Number 2, we haven't talked about Cthulhu, so here we go.
That's true. We got all this way.
So we
Cthulhu.
love a Lovecraft stuff, and Cthulhu Death May Die is number 2 on my list. Again, Simon Production, dungeon crawly vibe, where you're trying to kick the ass of Cthulhu and all his friends. And it's such a fantastic game where you explore the dungeons trying to beat the cultists. It's a very punishing game. It's not easy at all. The fact that you got these very great things where you're trying to balance the fact that you're getting more mad, so more powerful, but more closer to die is very good. The fact that you pick up a scenario and a boss separated, and you can mix and match with all the others, make it like the replayability is really good. Come on, brings out a lot of expansion as well.
Great support for it as well.
Yeah, we are now on season 4. It's always the same game, but it just adds more mechanics. It adds more adventure, more scenarios, more things to do, and it's fantastic. All the artwork is so Lovecraftian. They nailed the Lovecraftian feeling, and it's a difficult game, and but I love it for that.
As it should be. And of the Lovecraft games, it has a great pace.
Yeah.
It is incredibly action-driven. Tremendous game. Super fun, Matt. It's a wonderful pick.
Yeah,
Love it.
number 2, Cthulhu Death May Die. Okay, before number 1, we got some honourable mention that didn't make the list, almost made the list, but and they are not in either our list. Wayne, what's your honourable mention?
3 honourable mentions, and there could have been another 20. The first one is going to be Endless Winter Paleo Americans. Just a phenomenal game. Massive Euro. Super complex, but great fun. Another game I can't stop thinking about when I play it. The next one is Mind Management. Which is going to be
Hidden Movement.
Hidden Movement, 1 versus all game. Just another tremendous experience. And finally, Project Elite. the most chaotic, cooperative Zerg Rush game you can ever play. Love it.
Starship Trooper in
The
a
board
box.
game,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Basically, that's what it is.
Absolutely, Matt.
3 games that almost made the list, but didn't. First one is The King's Dilemma.
Yeah.
Fantastic experience with especially with a full party of 5 people. It's a one-shot game in a campaign.
One and done.
It's one and done, but the story and the development and the stuff that the story that brings on the table is absolutely fantastic, and having to deal with other 4 people, especially in making decision and trying to bring the water on your side, and that is absolutely fantastic. Great experience, King's Dilemma. Another one is Netrunner. I didn't make the list just because I'm still not sure if it's a card game, it's a collectible card game or a board game, but it must be somewhere in between there. And the theme, the cyberpunk theme, and how you play the game, the asymmetric between the runner and the corporates, absolutely fantastic. So if you're looking for a card game, this is one that you should definitely check out. And my last one, it must be Twilight Imperium, 4th edition.
Yeah.
What would say? Space opera.
Space opera.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
The famous 4X's game that we lucky enough that we played like every probably like 3
months or
months.
something. Yeah.
It's
That's
not.
enough.
It didn't make the list because it doesn't hit the table that many times, because you need an entire day, and it's difficult to get like 6-7 players that dedicate 10 hours during their weekend for a game. But what a game!
Well, what a game.
So and there are so many more that we probably forgot along the way or didn't make the list, but
I will link, if you're interested, my top 100.
Yeah, I have a look at that. Because he's got all this admin done and I didn't. So you find, sorry about it. But let's see which one are the number ones.
Let's do it.
All right, Wayne. Number 1. I'm not sure, because we didn't talk about our list, but at this point, I know that it's the same game. But I'm gonna ask you, which one is your number 1?
My number 1 game, Matt, is Cards Against Humanity. No, I'm kidding. No, it's Root. It's Root. It's got to be Root.
It's got to be Root. We can say that this is a joint number 1.
It's a joint number 1.
I'm gonna tell you now, it's my number 1 as well.
Of course.
It's the game that I have more fun playing recently.
Can't stop thinking about it. Every single time I play it, it's that great. It's a complex, very complex game. It is heavy as all hell. It is tremendously asymmetric.
Yes.
But god damn, is it tense and exciting.
Wow.
And every single point is hard fought over.
It is.
As soon as someone gets in the lead, you're like, I better slap that person down because they're going to run away with it.
It's one of those games you play the first time, it's going to take a little bit to understand the overall thing, and as you said, it's heavily asymmetrical, so each player will have completely different, not only play styles, but what you can do during the turn. But it's one of those that once you play it once, then you're gonna go out on the internet and start reading about strategy about this or that faction, and start researching. And when you get there, then you start knowing how you win and what your faction does. Oh god, if it tends to last, I always say, like, every time we play, it's always a big head-to-head, and it always goes down on a scream at the end. It's like either if you win or you lose. It's fantastic.
It's such a great design, and there's some people that just don't get it or don't like it, and I understand it. It's not for everybody, but for us though, Matt, we've had nothing but amazing experiences with this game. For me as well, every time I've played it, I've gone, man, I remember why I love this game so much. It's just, it's a slam dunk.
Absolutely, that's why it makes the number 1 for both. We didn't speak about it before, but yes, that must be
incredible.
It must be. It's
great production,
it's such
great replayability. It doesn't even take that long.
No, because you play it in 90 minutes. And just a small mention to the artwork. I love the artwork.
Kyle Ferrand's artwork is incredible.
And it's just big counter to what the game is, because at the end of the day, it's a strategic war game, but playing with these nice little animals is fantastic idea, fantastic production, fantastic experience while you play it. Absolutely.
One more thing to say about it, and this is something I always love about board games, is when they give you emergent stories.
Yeah.
So where as you play the game, a story just develops between the players and the factions. There's no text. You're not reading any story out loud.
No.
But the emergent storytelling that happens is just phenomenal. And it happens every single time.
And every time that you finish, you're gonna talk about the game.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about, oh, do you remember? Well, oh, you did that. Oh, you did that. It's great. So, our number one is Roots.
So that was our top 10 games of all time as of February 2024, Matt, because you can bet it may change.
Oh, it will. It will change. There's so
change.
many games that we haven't played enough to be in the top 10. But I know there's a lot of
and so much amazing stuff that comes out every single year as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. We want to know your
top 10
games of all time.
Yeah, and while you're doing it, make sure to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. And check all the rest of the content that we got. Again, before we close, really say thank you to the guys at DICE here in Worthing.
Thank you very much for
hosting us today in this fantastic board game cafe lounge. The vibe in this place is great.
It's buzzing.
It's full of people, and we're recording at Sunday lunchtime, so it's still full of people, both the floors. There's so many board games that you can pick up. This is just a small section of the
little beginner section over here.
Yeah,
for the big boy games upstairs.
So again, thank you very much for having us. And I guess we will see you.
We'll catch you again real soon.
Ciao.